Hi, welcome to TinkerCAD Part 4. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a little look at editing the model that we made in our last lesson. So we made a pencil pot that looked a little bit like this, and you may have made something that looked completely different, and that's okay. But I want to think about kind of going back and editing and improving my model. So not everything in 3D modeling is just as simple as, here I've got a great model, I want to print it. Sometimes it's like, how can we make the model better? Is it as functional as I want it to be? Does it look as good as I really want it to look? Sometimes we're in a bit of a rush to get models made, and we need to sometimes step back a little bit and think about how we can improve what we've already got. So I'm going to start by kind of exploding my model, so ungrouping everything. Okay, so if I clicked my model and I pressed ungroup twice, which is this one up here, it's broken my model back into its three sort of orange plastic blocks and then the three hollow spaces. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the first one, and I'm going to show you this tool here. So bevel and segments. So if I slide the bevel along, okay, what it's done is it kind of puts a kind of angle on the top of the pot. But if I use the segment slider now, it's going to round that off to be like a rounded corner. I don't know if you can see that properly on yours, but it's sort of rounded the bottom and the top of my model. So I'm going to do that for them all. I'm going to sort of try and remember what these numbers are. So the segments were 10, bevel was 1.85. So I'm going to do the same for this one here. So 1.85 and 10. So it's kind of useful to sometimes know how to use the numbers as well as just the sliders and the little white squares. Sometimes using those numbers means they all look exactly the same, which is kind of the point. So 1.85 and 10. So there we go. So I've rounded all of those objects, and it's actually interesting. They do look slightly different because the objects are different lengths. So this one here is the slightly less rounded corner than this one here. It's just a different angle, but that's okay. The concept itself works. What we're then going to do, I'm then going to group all of those back together. So I have to be careful on mine not to select my little blue octagon back there. I'm going to group those. I'm actually going to delete this, I don't really need that anymore. Sometimes it takes a minute, so there we go. So it's kind of like a pencil pot now with some rounded corners. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually add my name to this. So I've just clicked and dragged the text over here, and I am going to type in my name. Okay, so it's obviously way too long. I'm going to have to kind of make it shorter. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to use my name just there. I'm going to rotate my name. I'm going to turn it around. So I'm going to start by turning my name around 180 degrees this way. It's a bit fiddly sometimes. So we can, yep. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand my name up. Okay, so I'm just going to move it just a little bit. So this is why you have to change the views with that right mouse button, if you've got one, or the little space in the bottom right hand corner of your trackpad if you're on a laptop. That's really useful to do. So now I'm going to turn my name this way around. Okay, so that should be standing vertically. Yep, but look, lots of it is below the work plane. So I actually need to now think about lifting that up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something. I'm going to try and be a bit smart if I can. I'm going to select. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I will do it, but I'm going to have to just take my model apart for a second. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select this and my orange block, and I'm going to try and align them if I can vertically. So it means that it's going to shuffle my red lettering up so that it is exactly in the middle of the height of the orange block. So by clicking this one here, it's going to put my writing in the center. Okay, so it's the right height, but obviously I've not lined it up otherwise. So now, before I do much else, I'm going to actually have to rejoin all of those things there. So join them back together. I'm now going to shuffle my lettering to intersect with the that block there, and I'm going to shuffle it across just by eye. I could have used, if I wanted to, I could break it up again and use that align tool. I'm just going to do it by eye for now, and I think that looks not too bad. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something where I'm going to make it quite a lot longer. Okay, and actually I'm going to turn my lettering into a hole. So now when I group this together, it's going to cut these letters out of my pencil pot. Right, so let's try it. So I'm grouping my pencil pot object and my lettering object. Press group. Let's see what happens. Takes a minute because the computer's working quite hard to do that. Okay, so there we are. Actually, you know what we could do if I wanted to, I could actually go back a step and undo that, just select my lettering, and I could actually change the font of my writing if I feel strongly about that. I could swap it to something a bit blockier. I could put a bevel on that so it makes it a bit more kind of chunky writing, a bit more in bold. Okay, I think that might look good. Okay, again, collect up the object and the lettering in one selection and press group. Okay, cool. Happy with that. I think for me that one is finished. See you next week.